Hello and welcome back to Learning Left-Handed. In this episode we shall be talking about three amazing things. But before we begin, I'd like to give a shout out to our wonderful sponsor Boo and Bubs. Their Etsy store is getting more and more views. Hopefully we get some more sales out of this soon. Good luck. Now, I'd like to give also a special shout out to all of my Colombian fans. Apparently you guys are getting bigger and bigger by the week. You started off with 2, and now we are close to hitting the 500 mark. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed today's episode. We're going to start off with the amazing Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It is a series we have gotten lots of shit for and lots of good stuff from. That is up to you to decide at the end of the day. Let us begin. The lesson we're going to be talking about is mind your own business. Now, what this means is doesn't mean keeping nose out of other people's affairs. It means you got to look after the businesses that are in your life that you control. For example, the rich focus on their asset columns, but everyone else on their income statements. Basically, you got to buy things that will appreciate in value. For example, do not buy an expensive car because odds are their value will drop unless you're going to hold on to it for a long time. Studies say that a car's value will drop if you do nothing to it between a third all the way up to a half, depending on the car, of course. But those statistics will happen after you've literally driven a mile in it. Think about that. It becomes a liability, not an asset. And at the end of the day, don't be buying stuff that isn't going to go up in value. If you're focusing on making money, this is the philosophy you need to keep going in life. Like some people collect old watches, that way they can wear them, love them, enjoy them, and then sell them in a couple of years or at auction. Now, the reason we are talking about this is because a lot of people out there are focusing too much on how much money they make, not on focusing on what their money makes them. Keep that in mind next time you want to buy something expensive for no reason. And as we say, let's move on up to the next one. And before we move on to our next part, I just want to say a big shout out to my support network, because you guys are growing. And you make me smile, you make me happy. I receive dozens of emails from you fans every single week. I love it. It brings me such joy. Now, what we're talking about today for our Ultimate Side Hustles, which is the third most loved series we do. Thank you very much. We're going to be talking about what is really 2 jobs, but you can put it as one, is to be a valet attendant. Now, to me, that means one of 2 things. One, you drive cars into your own private car parking lot and look after them for a price set per hour. Or you do that and clean the car. Now, I know a lot of people who could make some money doing this, who are very, very good at doing it. I don't think it's that difficult to find someone who's good at cleaning out a car. And as long as you can drive, boom, you're already halfway there. What do you guys think about that? Do you think you could do something like that? That you could make some money? I believe in you. I think you can do it. And once you do actually do that, send me an email saying, hey, we've done this little side hustle of yours and it's working amazing. Or send me a tag anywhere else. Before we go into our last part of the evening, we will be carrying on the tradition of me telling you about the random things I got up to this week. So, on Saturday, I went out to the amazing 10th anniversary of Wingfest. For those of you, none of you can see it at the moment, but I'm actually wearing the hat you got for free with the ticket. There was axe throwing. There was live music. Honestly, it was amazing. And that's just before you even try the wings. I tried a total of 10 wings from different places. My favourite has got to be from El Pollote. Now, El Pollote is a nice little restaurant. Highly recommend you go out and check it. Honestly, I've never thought about putting guava glaze on chicken wings. I was skeptical. I read the reviews. I'm like, all right, I have to try it. So what did I do? Boom, that's the first one I went to. I went straight there. And honestly, guys, everything else was a letdown after that. And I tried some of the biggest and the smallest places there. It's making my mouth salivate just thinking of it. Then we moved on to Sunday when I went to the old Naval College's Pirate Day. It's the first time they've ever done it, so it was a bit small compared to the ones down in Hastings. Big shout out to the people at Hastings. And basically, once I was in there, it was so amazing. You got to talk to the guys who have been looking after these guns forever. You got to fire, in my case, a Kentucky rifle, which was the biggest gun they had that day. Honestly, the kick of it, I can still feel the bruise now, and it really hurt my hand. But honestly, a lot of fun. You got to see all of them firing at each other. There was sword battles. There was talking about the bounty. I don't mean the chocolate. I don't mean the chocolate, if you can call it that. I mean the mutiny on the bounty. That was great. There was period musicians. That was good. You got to learn about how to make knots, the various loadouts, the various pirates, and how they would carry 4 pistols right-handed and have a sword in their left hand. So that way they can basically shoot, drop, shoot, drop, shoot, drop, shoot, drop, and then fight their way back out. Honestly, the guys there and the ladies was just so kind and explaining everything. It was amazing. I also went to go and see the new Deadpool movie, which I highly recommend you go and see. It was absolutely hilarious, a bit gory, but honestly, not the R rating I expected it to be. It was a 15. Go check that out. And finally, the grand jewel of my week, I got to see, in my opinion, the best comedian that speaks English as far as I'm concerned, Russell Howard. Now, I have watched his shows from BBC Three to Sky One all throughout my life. I've watched him on Have I Got News For You. I've watched him on so many other shows. I watched him on Mock the Week. Honestly, he is my favourite comedian, and I see a lot of them. It was a great night, honestly. Now, what we're going to end on today, we are going to end on personality archetypes. Now, we have 12 different ones of them. Let us begin. So, what a personality archetype means is that each person generally has one of the archetypes in them, possibly 2 or 3, depending on how complex you are as a person. Let's begin. The ones that provide structure to the world. The first one to talk about in that is the innovators, the creators, your Elon Musks, your Jeff Bezoses of the world, the ones who get a great idea and boom, create something amazing. Next, we have the ones who want to control, the ones who want to have their own little fiefdom, little tiny dukedom or princedom or whatever you want to call it, tiny realm that will then grow. Third, we have the service people, the caregivers, the ones who look after the world, the ones whose shoulders we walk across every day because they are that amazing. The ones that yearn for paradise. Now, these are the people that like to travel a lot, get out and see the world. Some of them from the safety of their own bedroom. They like watching nature documentaries, etc. The ones that are the understanders of the world, the great brains, the minds, the ones who can comprehend it all, the sages of the world. And I don't mean the cooking herb. And after that, we have the ones who want freedom, mostly Scottish people. And that was not me doing a Scottish accent. That was been worse. These people are the explorers. They like to explore this beautiful world. Enjoy all 127 paradises that there are out there. Then you have the ones that want to connect with others. The ones that want to belong. The everyman, the boring people of the world, but we need them. Never forget that. Then there's the ones who search out only enjoyment. The jesters, the jokers, the pranksters, the comedians, the laughers, the lovers of laughing. You get the idea. Those lovely people. Then you have the intimate people, the lovers, the lack of fighters, the wondrous people of the world. And finally, you have the ones who want to leave a mark on this world. First of all, the liberators, the outlaws, the ones who don't like the curve, they like to break it. Then you have the power-hungry people, like the magicians, the ones who want to change and control everything and be ever powerful. And finally, then you have the ones who value self-mastery, the heroes of this great world. Which one are you? Leave it on a final note. Thank you so much, everyone, for always listening. We broke 22,000 views on our last episode. I hope you enjoy this one just as much. And as always, thank you for learning left-handed.